Ooh, 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 ooh. Ladies, gentlemen, gamers, and fellow League of Legends lovers, welcome to the series that I just can't stop doing, that I just can't put down. It's League of Legends patch notes! Yippee! Now, this one's going to be a little bit of a special one, so as I've kept saying for a lot of the recent ones, and as I'm hoping to do over time, I'm hoping to really change how I do these. I want it to be not as structured because they end up being too long, but I also hopefully either A, stop doing them, or B, do them in a very different way to where I like it again. Because this is where doing them the way I'm doing them, it's cool and all, but it takes way too much time. And we're doing this one at about 3 a.m. So I really want to do these ones a lot more casually, and by casually I mean not as structured as I used to do them, aka going over every change, giving my great input, my amazing, insightful input into why the change is the way it is, if it's stupid, if it's not, so on and so forth. This is where we're just going to see like if there's anything that stands out, if there's anything crazy. So hopefully we're going to go through, have it be very nice, very quick, unless people really want me to do a deep dive into it, because I am a long time League player, over a decade, and I'm pretty much, I should be number one on the challenger ladder, TBH. But this is where also I'm not going to go into the full changes because of this also fact here. I'm just really not playing Rift as much. I kind of feel like a retired League veteran at this point. I can still play ranked, I can still do kind of good, but this is where I like to relax, have fun, and I like to play all these other game modes, Brawl, ARAM, and all these other things. Which is why we're here and hopefully going to go through quickly the patch 25.12 notes. So there is some stuff to talk about here, especially the Uzi stuff, but one of the biggest things I am sad about with this patch, just straight off rip, is they showed a lot of the new stuff for ARAM, and it looks really good. And as an ARAM enjoyer myself, as a League veteran, I'm very excited. I thought it would come in this patch, but it's not, which is quite sad. But either way, I'm sure there's probably some other good stuff, but let's take a look. Let's take a look, because I have to go to work soon, so let's do it quick. So Uzi is coming into the Hall of Legends. This is where, very interestingly, I think some people had an issue with this. Now, I'm not too sure, because I'm not as locked in, but Uzi, in my mind, is one of the really good ADs in the game, historically speaking, at least. I think the argument was he's always been to Worlds. Now, forget about the player for a moment, we'll talk about the skin. The biggest thing with the skin that's been happening that the controversy is about, and I think this kind of happened with the Ari skin as well. This is where, in general, League with cosmetics has been on a, in my opinion, downward decline, where they've really taken stuff that they would give us in the past. And I'm not just talking strictly about the skin that we're getting, I'm talking also about just skins in general. A lot of skins we would get in the past, especially legendaries and ultimates, used to be a lot higher quality, and they've gone down, and we've gotten exalted skins that are way more expensive, even though technically you could get them for very little money if you're lucky, but it's gacha, so most likely most people won't be lucky. So we tend to price the skin at where you can guarantee it at. So a lot of these exalted skins, where you need to spend hundreds of dollars to guarantee it, are sometimes not even better than a legendary skin, and it's really sad. And now bringing it back to the skin, I heard the skin, and it's really sad because this breaks my heart. It's for Kaisa. Kaisa, 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 Kaisa. I love Kaisa. Now the sad part is, I love Kaisa, but I don't know if I have enough money to really get the skin, nor would I want to, because I heard the skin really isn't anything crazy. It's okay, but I heard a lot of things about somewhat reused animations, especially from the Ambessa legendary. And if they're doing that, it's like, what the fuck? But either way, I don't think we're going to really see too much of the skin here in the patch notes. And even though it is, I think, a part of the patch, it's not a big part, so we won't ding them too hard on it. Sadly, because we're getting used to getting fucked in the ass this way. But either way, let's see what else is going on in this patch. Let's see if there's anything crazy. So, they're paying homage to a living legend, Uzi. Brand new battle pass, which is actually, these battle passes, these new ones, which is, again, quite literally right here, these things are full of value, by the way. These things are actually insanely valuable. Like, the other one they had for Faker was with the LeBlanc skin, and it's sad because I don't use LeBlanc, but I do use Vayne, so I'm heavily considering getting this, and There's so much stuff in here. It's actually crazy. It's actually wild. But either way, this is where there's a lot of stuff in there. We won't go through that. It's not a reaction video like that. But extremely, extremely worth it. Same thing with the Faker one that came out a year ago. Either way, though. So we have new battle pass, take you through historic career moments, new cosmetics, brand new skins, and all of that sort. So again, same thing as the Faker shit. But those are actually really, really good. Which is weird, because I just talked about like stuff being bad. Either way. This is where, let's see what else there is. So they're getting ready for MSI, so there's going to be a lot of pro changes here. So once they say that, in my mind, what this means is, oh, we're not going to get anything crazy. Because when they're doing stuff for pro, they're doing stuff not for normal people, and they want pro to be relatively tame. So what that means is, it's probably just going to be a lot of stat changes. Let's be real. Let's see. Talia, Nico, Rumble, and again, I can't talk too much on these because I've been out of Rift, but I could also talk more on them, but like I said, I have work soon, and we're going to try and make this quicker. So let's see if there's anything that stands out. Nerfs to Shen and Yorick. Buff to Garen, because I guess they over-nerfed him. And they're still touching Vi, which is interesting. Some ARAM changes before the big ones. And the new Ink Shadow skins, too. Okay, cool. So this patch looks really, like, chock full of shit. Wow. Either way, I'm excited to see the skins, though. But let's see. So, Vayne and Kaisa will be available June 11th. So yeah, like I said, I am late. It's June 13th, so either way. Oh, but look at this Kaisa skin. Listen, as much controversy as it has, I do think it's a decent-ish skin. I don't really like the theme of, like, the dogs. They're really going with this, like, dog theme with Uzi. I'm not sure if that's something he wanted or what, but I'm not crazy about it. The skin looks nice, though, but I'm not crazy about it. So this is a once-a-year skin, too, so get ready. Players are chosen by an independent voting panel. So I really wish they would, like, say more about who that is, because if someone gets voted and, like, the fans really don't like it, what's gonna happen? Because they're saying it's independent, it's esports vets, it's experts from every region. Who the fuck are these people? We need more, I think, transparency with this. But either way. So they're gonna welcome... I didn't even know this guy's real name. Jian Zihao Uzi. So he's the second inductee, right behind Faker. So a lot of people might say now he's the best ball laner because of this, but who knows? Uzi's induction is a testament to his remarkable career in one of the hardest roles, in my opinion. ADC is such a fucking hard role, man. It's fucked. So he's widely hailed as one of the... Okay, so now they're just going to glaze him. Wow. Uzi electrified fans with his mechanical precision and fearless play. Ooh. So he was on RNG. Here's his fierce, competitive, and deep connection with his fans. Ooh. He started performance 2014, Crying Achievement 2018. Nice. So unlike Faker, who won, like, you know, how many fucking championships? I think Uzi only won one? I actually don't even know. So they're celebrating him with the pass, which, again, has a lot of shit. Like, that Vayne skin is not bad, but even without the Vayne skin, this pass has massive value. 2 chests, all this other shit, Chroma, Ward, Mythic Essence, which I'm sad we can't use that to roll, but whatever. And all this other crap. Really good. Featuring Kaisa. Okay, yeah, and it's sad the Kaisa thing is different, but, you know, Uzi co-developed it himself. I'm pretty sure that means he just said, like, hey, I want to have this and that, and they put it in. I'm sure. Either way. And because this is 100 levels, that might scare some people if you never saw the first one with LeBlanc with Faker, but these things are extremely easy to finish. Like, it's not hard at all, so I wouldn't even be scared about this. But that's cool. And then upcoming Battle Pass improvements. Ooh! So the biggest thing I've always said is, and they kind of fixed it a little bit because most missions do count in TFT. The only thing that doesn't count for some odd reason is the daily, the repeating, not the daily, sorry. The repeating mission for some reason can't be done in TFT, but everything else can. Your weeklies, you know, as long as it makes sense, right? You can't obviously kill Baron in TFT, but every other mission that you just need to get points for playing, you could do in TFT, except the repeating one. I don't know why they nerfed that. I don't know why they took that away, but... And I'm going to TLDR this because I've said this, like, so many times. But I really do think Riot came out, did the whole Hextech chest controversy because they wanted to take our sight away. They want to take focus away from them nerfing the battle pass into the ground. These battle passes are so much more shittier now. They don't give you any choice. And listen, they want to blame free chests. Those chests were not the problem. People like me who spent a little bit to get all the passes are the problem. I'm getting so many skins from these passes, it's actually insane. And I'll always show it off every so often. Here's my loot. Look at what I've got. Now, again, I'm not a free-to-play player. I've bought all the passes up until now. But look at all this loot I have. I counted up. I think I have like over 800, maybe even over 1,000 things I have to open to get skins from. And some of these are guaranteed to be legendaries and above. So it's like, and then you could reroll all these. It's actually insane the value you get from spending a little bit of money. Again, not fully free to play, but I'm not sure they're ever going to want to admit that. But either way, the passes have gone worse, and I've explained this again too. You lost a lot of freedom of choice. You can't infinite farm it in a meaningful way anymore, and you get a lot less skins from it. But if that's the price we have to pay for chests coming back, I guess so. Even though they're not going to say it, and it's more conspiracy theory than anything. Either way, though, let's see what they're going to say here. Will you play 4 hours or 4 days a week? We want to reward you. So basically, it sounds like they're making it easier. So in Act 2, Mastery set Battle Pass XP to a mission. Oh! You'll be able to obtain the full 2,500 champions of your choice. Okay, so that's actually ironic because I'm doing this right now, and I think this is the first time I'm doing it like officially, because I can do it in Brawl because Brawl is so quick. But the Mastery set sometimes is so confusing. Because it's like, oh, how do they choose these champions? What if you don't like them? Then you're forced to play someone you suck at, and you need to get a good grade on them. This is where more and more over time League just, I guess, becomes more babyish, where they kind of baby the player. Where instead of being skillful at a champion or learning, which, at that point not everyone could do it and it causes frustration, this is where they're making it very easily accessible. And this is where in the past, and I'll always bring this up too, Riot always says things and then usually walks back on them. They said when they first introduced this mission system all the years ago, and I'm talking many, many years ago, because again, I've played this game for like a decade now, this is where they said, yeah, they don't want the missions to be something simple. It's like, oh, just play games, right? They said, oh no, we want you to do something specific on this person or that, or, they didn't want it to be simple. Fast forward now, everything's fucking simple. So it's funny. So what do they want to do? Provide some Battle Pass XP now that we've been live for a while. The completion rates we're seeing aren't quite hitting our expectations. Yeah, no one's doing it because they don't want to play champions they're not good at and then try and do good at them. People don't want to go really out their comfort zone. Now, I think Brawl helps a lot, but what are they doing? Catch-up missions. Oh, really? They'll stick around for 21 days. Oh, nice. There's no catch-up method. So if you come in basically part way, you're kind of fucked. So, damn. So yeah, you do kind of have to treat this like a job, which people don't want to be forced to do that. People will do that if they like it. Trust me, people will spend more time on this than their actual jobs if they really like it. But when you're forcing them to do it, it feels like shit. So either way. They're not making it last the whole thing, though. They're just making it last longer, but not the whole thing. Okay. So week 1, you'll get week 1. Week 2, you'll get week 2 and week 1. Week 3, you'll have week 1 and week 2. And then week 4 is when week 1 will expire. Okay, cool. So you can't have everything. Oh, nice. Your shop is getting back. Cool. Oh, wait. Oh, never mind. It's still out. So it already came out. I don't even think I checked mine. But either way. Finally, the changes. Let's see what they're doing versus Aatrox. So he's bad. They're buffing him. They're buffing his healing. And I think that's fine. I think Aatrox, when he ults, should be a force to be reckoned with. I think there's champions that need to have their fantasy be strong, right? Like, for instance, when Mundo's ulting, you want to make him feel like, okay, he's actually unkillable, right? Obviously, you should still be able to kill him in, like, extreme circumstances, but this is where I really feel like they do need to push champion fantasies, and over time especially, not only has League gone easier, but a lot of champion fantasies have been withered down and, like, kind of sanded away in a way, which I personally don't like. Either way, these Aatrox changes are decent. Ari, the charm duration is getting nerfed, and the cooldown of the ult is getting nerfed as well. Damn. Okay, not bad. I don't think Ari is particularly strong, but I guess in pro play she's very useful. Not necessarily strong power damage-wise, but useful utility-wise. Anyway, I hope they're buffing Aphelios. This is where I really want to go into depth with Aphelios, but again, I don't want to spend too much time here. So, Aphelios is doing alright. He hasn't quite made the leap into pro, which is crazy because he used to be the pro champion. So they're buffing his attack speed. They're buffing his several move speed, his his little pistol. And then Calibrum, the sniper. I like how they say moonshot instead of like actually no, I was thinking headshot, I'm thinking Kalen. They're buffing it by 10. This is nothing. So Aphelios is better, and they need to be careful because if you buff Aphelios, he scales really well. The only thing stopping him is his complexity and then his weapons, which some of them suck ass. But in pro play, they don't because they find a use for everything. So they really got to be careful with this guy. But he's better. Aurora! Aurora is so weird. It's similar to a champion for me like Riven, where I feel like I do really bad on them, but then by the end of the game I'm doing the most damage. It's so odd to me. But it looks like they're buffing her because in my opinion they kind of gutted her, so I think this is fine. Azir, honestly nothing crazy. I always say move speed is sleeper OP, and it is. But I think there is certain champions that are beloved in pro play and they don't want to touch them too badly. But they're nerfing Azir, which is crazy. So maybe he's just really crowding people out. But this is why I don't think it's too much of an issue if champions are crowding out stuff, because with the new way that pick ban and stuff works, they really can't use the same champion more than one game. So I don't think it's too much of an issue. But surprised, they're nerfing Azir. Bard. His move speed is going up. Wow. This might have major changes because Bard roams, so that's a little scary. Bel'Veth. Bel'Veth sucks ass. So let me see. So the cast range of R is getting nerfed early, but then buffed later on. What? Wait, that's so weird. Why does it have 4 things here? The cast range of R is lower early, which doesn't make sense. But it's bigger later, but it's going to 450 like it has a 4th level. That might be a visual glitch. I don't know. Huh. But either way, if you kill them with E from like across the like a wall or something, I guess you could still eat it. So that's cool. That's more of like a quality of life. So yeah, that is true. And you can still flash while using R. Thank God. That's a bug fix too. I thought that was intentional. So Garen, basically they over nerfed him. What are they doing? Location 100 above. So again, they don't want Crit Garen because Crit Garen was basically like an assassin annoying fly who just like nip at you. He was like a mosquito in the name of in the words of ironically Pobelter. Pobelter said that perfectly. And I think Doublelift said it too. But either way, this is where they are nerfing the base damage a little bit, but buffing the AD ratio. And after you have 100 total AD, this is a buff, which literally after the initial early game, this is a big buff. Armstrong is not properly extended by additional spins. Oh! Okay, so Garen's slightly better. I don't think he's going to be what he was, though, but... Oh no! My Gwendolyn! Dude, this is sad, and I love watching Gwen. I love Gwen as a champion. I love everything about Gwen. And I'm sad she's getting nerfed. Let's see how bad it is. Base health is not bad by 20. Cooldown is... up by 2. I think this is fair. The W is such a strong ability. I honestly think this is fair. Especially when you get some cooldown and you level it. I think that's fine. So I feel like Jax is definitely not what he was. I feel like they have to buff him. And it looks like they are. I don't think Jax is the shit anymore. I don't know if the just items aren't that good, if we just have like kit creep where like other kits are just better, but I really feel like Jax is not the terror he once was. And I think in large part that has to do with the rework to his kit, where his ult now kind of scales a little bit more off AP, which is weird for him. But either way, Jax is a little bit better. Kalista, this is one of the favorites of pro play, and they're nerfing her. Wow. Okay, damn. I didn't think she was that crazy. LeBlanc. So basically they're saying, and this was what happened in the past with League. A big thing in the past when they reworked a lot of the assassins was a lot of the assassins would one-shot you, and you'd have no counterplay, you just get insta-tapped. This is where they added a lot of stuff for the assassins to make them forced to wait, right? So you can like maybe, use a movement ability, get away, jump, use Zanya's, whatever it might be. LeBlanc is also one of those people, especially with the chains and everything. This is where LeBlanc has to wait for a lot of stuff, as do many other assassins. But it's curious to see that they're saying that they're still difficult to balance because it's frustrating, even though there's a lot more compared to back in the day. Reaction things you could do. There's a lot more potential. But either way, so they're actually buffing LeBlanc, which is crazy. How bad is this? It's 5%. Okay. And then the cooldown is going down. That's a little scary, but that's fine. Listen, they're gonna buff this fucking guy because they love him. They love him in World, or I was about to say Worlds, in Pro Play. So they haven't seen him because he sucks ass. They're buffing his E, and the slow mount's going a little bit down, but the cooldown's going up. Okay, so it's a trade-off. He's whatever. Mord. He's lost some power when his items got nerfed. So what are they doing? His Q, Obliterate, is going up by 20. Wow. Okay, not bad. Decent. Pretty boring changes so far. Nico. Ooh, Nico is really cool. I actually really like Nico as a champion. And visually, too. I think she's really pretty. So let's see. And her shapeshifted. So the Q is... I guess they're trying to nerf her support. What are they doing? So the base damage is going down. The scaling is going up. So again, you have to build AP. And then the W is actually going down as well. Wow. So yeah, they're really trying to nerf support Nico, which is ironically enough kind of threatening. I fucking hate Nidalee. It's the same thing as Lee Sin, but I guess they like Nidalee. Not as much as Lee, but let's see. They're saying it's because of her strength as a top laner. Oh my god. So her scaling is going up by 15. Actually, that's not anything to really skip over. That's actually kind of big. Wow. 15% AP scaling. Usually they do 5, at most 10. 15 is decent. Huh. Oh my sweet god. Oh yeah, I heard about this. I heard they were reworking Rammus. So this is curious. I think Rammus is very interesting. My fear is that, you know, this doesn't really have to do anything with champion fantasy. Well, there's two things I want to say here, right? There's champion fantasy when it comes to their lore, and then there's champion fantasy when it comes to in-game. In-game, Rammus is known as the anti-physical. Now, he's a good tank, but he's the anti-AD tank. This is where that really has no connection to his lore. I mean, he's defensive. He's like, you know, a spiked turtle, Shuriman Godder or something. But this is where I hope they don't take away his gameplay fantasy of being just anti-physical. But let's see. So they want to retain him as an anti-auto attack tank, so fuck ADs. They want him to also be okay with tanking magic damage. Oh. And they want to make him more impactful? Interesting. They want to remove some needless complexity. What? Huh. So they basically want him to be played more. Okay. So they're nerfing his armor. They're buffing his attack speed and AD. Interesting. So they removed his attacks getting on-hit magic damage. And now he gets bonus AD. It's from armor and MR. Not just armor. Okay. So his Q's damage is going up. And it no longer locks him out of casting E. What? Okay. That's pretty decent. So the W is lasting longer. It's no longer increased by autos. The base armor is going down. Getting nerfed, scaling wise. The MR is going up. Not as much as the bonus armor, but still a good amount. It's a little bit less though. The reflected damage is now scaling off MR as well. Huh. Dragon damage, what? Oh, it didn't reflect it from basic? Wow. Or from the dragons to that basic, huh. Nice, and it tells you how much you're going to gain, and then it's no longer blank. Interesting. So again, he's getting more MR now too. Less armor, more MR though. So the E, it no longer gives him attack speed, but it now deals damage to monsters, but doesn't deal damage to champions. Interesting. So they're giving him more just straight up damage in almost every part of his kit. Wow. So the ult is getting nerfed cooldown wise, buffed damage wise. No longer deals more damage in the center, so it's more, it's less strict. Aftershock damage removed. Wow. The slow no longer stacks, which is sad. And he can now Powerball soar even if he's on top of an enemy soaring slam is cast quick enough. What? V-timed R's animation play the full animation over the dash. I no longer breaks animation and fails of power. Wow. There was a lot of bugs with this. Holy shit. So Rammus just looks like he's just doing more damage and is better at tanking MR. Huh. Okay, I guess Rammus is better. Just quite literally. I don't see any downside to that because armor is a redundant stat and just, defenses are redundant if you get too much of them, so that's fine. So Rumble has been too good, it looks like. They are nerfing him by... No, the max health! Wow. Wow. I wonder if tanks are going to make a resurgence because of this, but I doubt it. But it might be a death by 1,000 cuts things with tanks coming back. So, Gwen got a little nerf too. Although Gwen still is she's one of the best tank busters in the game. So E's getting nerfed too, even the enhanced one. Wow, okay, Rumble's just worse. Okay, so Samira did get buffed recently. I haven't played her to see how good it is. I've been seeing a little bit uptick of Samira content. I can't say play because I haven't really been on the Rift that much, but I think Samira is another one that has high octane action in pro play. They're really scared about making her too good, but I don't know how much the lifesteal is gonna help her or has helped her. Let's see what they're doing. They're saying BT is viable first option. Wow. So they're they're buffing her again? Holy shit. So she's getting more move speed. She's going from 21 to... Oh no, so late game is still the same. Okay. So early game, it's a little bit higher. 12 to 16.5. Damn. And then the damage on Q. Oh, she's getting the base damage again. Wow. Okay. It's up by 5. That's pretty good. Okay, Samira's a little bit better. Not crazy amounts, but a little bit. So, ADC Senna is getting nerfed. So, I feel like she's always just going to be a support. And she scales really well, too. I've actually seen Senna's go support, and they scale harder than the AD most of the time. So, Shen is one of the strongest because he has global presence, and he's very, very good in pro's hands. So they're nerfing his end lane with Shadow Dash, and they're going to less HP scaling. Cool. Talia. She's a little bit squishy. She's a little bit less damage. Okay. TF. They gotta buff this dude. They gotta buff this dude, man. And this is where they tried to make him so he plays more AD by changing his kit around. I feel like it was good, then they nerfed it, then we never saw him again. Let's see. So now they're buffing the attack speed again, which is scary. And the old cooldown is even less, which again, similar to Shen, that's really good. Although Shen got nerfed for it, I think. Varus. Wow, Varus is getting hard nerfed. Varus is really good in pro play, though. Again, he has a lot of sep. He's kind of like the Ahri of the bot lane, except he actually does damage. Varus is really good, though. Vi. I don't know why they keep touching Vi. I don't know if they have a hard-on from Arcane still, but... Excuse me, I guess we'll see. Interesting. So the W is getting... Oh my god, looks like it's getting almost... Wait, no, yeah, it's 2%. I mean, it's max health, so that's a little sad. And the attack speed's going down. Damn! And then the E is going up. So they're shifting power, but I actually really like the W, but I guess the E is more feeling it, it's more front-loaded. That's fine. Yorick. So his late lane phase spike. Wow. He becomes unassailable. I've never heard that word before. Wow. So the Mistwalkers are getting nerfed. Interesting. So they don't have as much attack speed. And then the Q is going down by 20. I'm a little concerned for the Ghoulie thing, but I'm sure this isn't too bad. Oh my god, they're actually touching Zeri. Zeri is another one they love in pro play, so I'm definitely seeing a buff here. Wow. So a slight buff. Oh my god, wait. Oh no, Giga, well not Giga buff, but they actually gave her more bonus AD from 85 to 100. Damn. And then Chainline's going up. They really want Zeri to be like in pro play too. Which is sad because Crit Zeri is so hard. Dude, the OG Zeri when they first came out, so good. Anyway, they don't like ranged people using Grasp, so that's getting nerfed. Anaconda is getting retuned as always. Dragon is not getting bug fixed. Cool. And ARAM. None of this ARAM shit really matters because, again, the next big update to ARAM is next patch, I believe. By the way, we don't need to go over that. And then Brawl. So I wonder what they're going to say about Brawl. This is where, if they just extend Brawl a little bit more, if they make the average to be, instead of 10-minute games, 9-10-minute games, to be like 12 to 15, I think that's perfect. I think Brawl is too quick sometimes, where I don't even get to have like my full build. I don't really get to, as I keep saying this episode, experience the fantasy. It's a little sad, but it is what it is. But either way, what are they doing? Yeah, look, they're even saying it. We think that Brawl encompasses the entire power growth journey of a league game, which is not true most of the time. We observe that players aren't getting spent as long as we or they would like as late game power levels. True. So they don't increase game duration, they're just increasing the power. Interesting. But I guess only for Kale? Oh, so they're nerfing Kale because in general you're just gonna get more for everyone. Never mind. I jumped the gun. So passive gold is more. Passive XP is more. Nice. And then there's more juices. Cool. There's an MSI cup. Nice. Position binding. Nice. It's in Swift Play too, which I don't know why that's in Swift Play, but okay. ARAM Champ Swap. Oh. I guess they switched how the Champ Swap was done, but they switched it back because people didn't like it. Bug fixes out the wazoo, and then finally the skins. So I haven't really seen the Vayne one. It looks okay. It doesn't look crazy. It kind of reminds me of I don't want to say Hex Tech, but it doesn't look too crazy to me. Risen Legends Kai'Sa, obviously that's like the big skin, and then there's the Immortal one, which is the more expensive one. That's whatever. I've talked about those enough. The skin, like I said, not my type of theme. It looks like it has quality, not for its price though. And then we get to Ink Shadow. So again, rest in peace Surrender 20, but I didn't even know these were coming. Renekton doesn't even look like Ink Shadow here. I didn't think Ink Shadow had that much of a fan base to where it would come back, but maybe League's running out of ideas. But we have Renekton, which looks like a fucking kaiju. We have Pyke, who I thought was Jin for a second, or maybe Lee Sin, but it is Pyke. Then we have actual Ink Shadow Lee Sin. Oh, whoop-de-fucking-do. And then Ink Shadow Neela. Wow. Okay, Ink Shadow Neela might look nice. I don't know if any of these are legendary. If there was one, I hope it's for Neela. Either way, those are the skins. We're getting new Frosted Edgelord Project Lucian chromas and Fade Dragon Ash for some reason. Everything else looks alright. The in-games for these look weird. I think the Renekton one looks the best. It almost reminds me of Project, but almost everything reminds me of Project because of the colors. So I think that's like colorful and big. Kind of reminds me of Project, but either way, this was like a whatever patch. I guess the biggest thing is Brawl. You can scale faster, which is nice. York got kind of nerfed. What else was like huge here? Oh, and Rammus got reworked. Honestly, I'm whatever. I mean, again, most pro patches, I don't really think anything crazy. I'll rate this like a 6 out of 10 just for the Rammus changes, but 5 out of 10 is, as always, completely neutral. I thought this was whatever. Either way, I'm going to go. I would say 6 out of 10 Mark Merrills. It was a short one. Tell me if you enjoy this one or the longer one. I hope everyone enjoyed, and I hope everyone watches me at Twitch TV/Tecnics channel. I have work in a couple hours. Yay, yippee! Yee!